This is a moment.
Hey folks, welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Moments with Dallas. This week's episode, wait, did you just say this week, but didn't you just do one on Friday? Well, yes I did. Let me explain. You see, I do these videos on my off day, and I do have a full-time job, and so this is just something I do for fun. Don't worry, I do have a life outside of this. Must be nice. It is. But I digress. Anyways, like I said, this week we talk about something very near and dear to my heart, and that is, what is a nerd? Now, nerd is a word that's thrown around here and there, and everybody goes, what is a nerd? Well, first off, it is a lovely little thing of candy that I enjoy greatly. But also, nerds are people. Never forget, my friends, that nerds are the ones who brought us from the depths of below to great heights in the technological and other worlds. If it wasn't for nerds, you wouldn't be looking at me right now. That could be a good thing. Shush you. But I digress again. So, this week we're going to break down the different kinds of nerds. The first kind of nerd I would like to talk about are the book nerds. These are the tried and true traditional nerds. These are the nerds that you normally see in a library reading a book. These nerds generally are found arguing back and forth as to which is better, Tolkien or C.S. Lewis. And they comparing notes as to who brings up the better stories and better context and stuff. And they're also the ones that are generally doing your homework.
Shame on you.
Another kind of nerd I like to point out, this is kind of a staple nerd. This is the kind of nerd that everybody looks to when they are basically having problems with their computer. And that is the techie nerds. Now, these are the nerds that are sitting around and they're so plugged into the matrix that they're part of the Borg. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dallas, did you just combine two different universes into one? Yes, I did. And the fact that you got that joke means you're one of them.
You will be assimilated.
But I digress again. You see, while everybody's arguing back and forth about PC or Mac, these are the kind of guys who go, I know it looks like a Dell PC, but I actually hacked this laptop and changed the internal coding, broke into the motherboard and changed all the settings, and so this PC is now a Linux, and it runs so much faster now. I know what you're thinking. You're going, I've never heard of Linux, Dallas. What is that? Don't worry about it. Those of you who know what Linux are, either A, you live with a techie, or B, you're one of them. And please don't assimilate me.
You will be assimilated.
Now, the next kind of nerd I want to talk about is what we call anime nerds. Now, don't get confused. Anime is not the kind of junk you see on TV on Saturday mornings here in America. I'm sorry. SpongeBob is not quality, people. It's not. Just say no. Say no to the sponge.
No! Bad sponge! Bad! No!
Anime refers to Japanese animation. These are the animations that are made in, guess what? Japan. Now, generally, if you're hanging out with an anime nerd, you're going to hear conversations like this. Okay, for reals. Well, I really did appreciate Gundam Seed and Gundam S Destiny, and I appreciate the parallels between it and the original Gundam series that they came out with. I really do believe that Gundam Wing is probably the best series, even though the homage to the original Gundam at the very end of Gundam 00 was appreciative, and I really think that was really well done. I still feel that Gundam Seed and Gundam S Destiny do not compare at all to Gundam Wing. I mean, you look at it, you have Hero, you have Zex Marquis, this epic battle between the two of them, between Epion and Wing Zero. I mean, how could you not enjoy that battle? And I still say the Tall Geese was a better looking design than Epion, but I mean, I digress. I mean, it's the Epion. It was still pretty beast mode. But Gundam Wing, hello. And Endless Waltz was just a beautiful way to end that entire series. The next kind of nerd I'd like to point out are the comic book nerds. Comic book nerds generally spend a lot of time in what we call comic book shops. And these are the mythical places that they go and hang out that have walls of books with all kinds of pretty images and all kinds of really deep and detailed storylines. And you generally find them arguing back and forth about different things as far as, you know, who's the greater, Batman or Superman? Really, who's going to win in a fight? Personally, I think Batman. All right? I mean, it just makes sense. Superman, yeah, he's strong and everything, but Batman, he's smart. I'm telling you, Batman would so kick his tail side. And he's done it before, and it was awesome. So, and the only time really that Superman actually beat Batman was because Batman let Superman do it. So, what I'm saying, you know, Batman. Team Batman. Hashtag, oh, Frank, thank you for what you've done for Batman. Because it's true. Superman's a wuss. Now, the last kind of nerd I want to talk about, not that it's the only kind of nerds out there, but it's just getting really long, I want to shut this down, is the gamer nerds. Now, these are the nerds that spend all kinds of money on systems like PlayStation 4, which hasn't even come out yet, Xbox 720, again, hasn't even come out yet, all these other gaming stations, and they play all kinds of really cool games. Now, they in themselves have different kinds of genres. You have your RPGers, which stands for role-playing gamers, which generally revolves around a storyline, and it's a one-time shot, but it's really interesting storyline. They really enjoy it, and they get really hardcore into it, and to the point where they actually begin to act like those characters. And it's really where we see a guy running around with a big yellow hair going, "My name is Cloud." That's weird. Now, the weird thing about gaming nerds is it also kind of spans into other genres of people. And so you got these people who aren't necessarily nerds, but they're into video games, such as your jocks who are into football games. Touchdown! And also people who are into the first-person shooters. You know, I'm really good at paintball because I get all kinds of headshots in Call of Duty and Modern Warfare. Now, with that being said, that also means that these people are also nerds themselves. But be careful, don't say that, because generally they took your lunch money earlier, and so you just want to be nice to them. So that's the breakdown of all the different kind of nerds. So again, now remember, there is bleed through throughout the entire nerd genre. There is your book nerds who are into techie stuff. You got your techie nerds, there are comic book nerds. You got your comic book nerds, there are also gaming nerds. And so it all kind of bleeds through and all kind of mingles. And it's what we call community. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Moments with Dallas. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And sharing is caring. Don't forget that, especially if you share this video, because you're getting the word out that nerds are people too. Okay? Also, feel free to check out my friend, Nick Callage. He's a very funny person. I highly recommend his videos. Also, feel free to check out this video channel right here. This right here is my other channel for the weekly shorts, which is a series of videos I do for my church, The Healing Place, thbshreveport.com. So check that out. It's funny. It makes you laugh, makes you cry. Sometimes at the same time you feel really awkward on the inside. So folks, have a good day.